Now, I am not good at many things, but one thing I have mastered is managing my time. It's not something that I think of as a stressful chore, but more so as a valuable skill that has opened many opportunities in my life, giving me peace of mind. Now, here's some proof that I have mastered it. I'm not bragging, I just seriously put all my skill points into one category and neglected the rest. Basically, I got my bachelor's degree in 3 years, and I attended 4 different colleges to speed up the process, and yes, I'm blurring out my name and face, but you could probably easily dox me with a Bing search. Anyway, I graduated with like a 3.6 GPA, which isn't the best, but it's not academic probation. So as a full-time student, I worked part-time and had a year's worth of experience through internships, which landed me my dream job in animation production before graduating. And at the same time, I had enough time to work on a couple of artistic projects involving my books, such as a couple of chapters, a bunch of loose notes and ideas, and some visual development. This was all in 3 years, by the way, not the last month, so don't worry. Now, how did I do all this and not end up in a psych ward? Simple, really. Time management. I'm also an artist, so I wasn't always good at it, but now I am, and I want to help you guys with it too, especially since most of you guys are probably still in college or insanely busy and have like a billion obligations. This video will tackle all that. No grind culture, no selling your soul, just regular time management. So let's get into it with the thing that messes with us all. Most bad time management happens because of procrastination. We all know it, we've all done it, but what can we do about it? Let's start with the school side of it. I went to school for communication studies, but took many art classes too. I hated all my general ed classes, such as statistics and oceanography. I would look at the paper and not want to start because I'm horrible at math and science, and frankly, just being in the class overwhelmed me and stressed me out to the point where I'd sit there all day goofy until the very last minute, then start my assignment and turn it in, crying and complaining about how I don't have enough time to draw because of this dumb class. And really, guys, that's when it clicked. I was so miserable because I was sitting and waiting to do something I should have done. But in reality, if I had done it earlier, I would have had time to draw. Here's one tip that helps me tremendously with my procrastination. Just start. Whether it's filing out a single answer on the packet or reading one word in the textbook, just start. Because usually when humans start things, we're gonna finish it. Before you know it, you've filled out the entire packet or read the whole chapter, and that's because you started. Start small and you'll accomplish a lot. Even break it up throughout the week if you have to. Once you do that, you could finally indulge in writing and art. That is, until you realize you're too mentally drained to write or draw. Again, the whole just start thing can apply here too, but if you're really drained, just picking up the pencil won't help. Well, in that case, if you're procrastinating drawing or writing, I would say to just chill and watch a YouTube video about art, like what you're doing right now. Hop into someone's live stream and watch them draw, or even scroll through social media and look at others' art. The same types of things can happen with writing too. I'm a firm believer that you can learn things by observation. Sure, observation isn't as quantifiable as having physical, tangible work in front of you, but that doesn't make it any less important. So take breaks to learn things. Your work will always come back looking better at the end. Now, another way to beat procrastination is my favorite, the accountability buddy. Mona Koth, who illustrated the Panda Panda books, brought it up in a presentation I attended, and I think it's genius. So basically, we are all held accountable all day, every single day. At work, it's your boss asking you if you did that thing they told you to do. At school, it's your classmate who asks you, oh, did you turn that assignment in, or did you study for the test? We need that same kind of thing when it comes to our art and writing. Just someone to say, hey, did you make that comic page yet? Or hey, did you write that chapter? When you have an accountability buddy, you're most likely going to produce the art in a timely manner. And if they're working on something too, you can do the same thing with them. I love to receive art and I love to share art. So it's a win-win. Mona and her friend would update each other on what they accomplished that day until they finished their books and had them successfully published. Now, Poor me. I currently don't have an accountability buddy, but if anyone wants to, we can help each other out. Just email me or Discord me so we can hold each other accountable. Also, I have an art updates channel on my Discord that acts as an accountability chat. Just post sketches, artwork, or anything you manage to finish that day, big or small. Well, that's what the initial purpose of the chat was, but no one is using it that way. I'm a Discord mod, but I'm not that much of a Discord mod to say how you can and cannot use the chat. It's the Wild West and I love it, but yeah, that's another way not to procrastinate. There are so many different ways too as well, so let's break them down into different segments. Yes, the schedule. I could see everyone with ADHD rolling their eyes at the title card. I understand. Not a single neurodivergent person wants to talk about the frickin' planner or the frickin' schedule. Later on, I'll also talk about being neurodivergent and its effects on time management soon, but for now, it's planner time. Stick with me, guys. Y'all be sleeping on the planner. So I had a planner in college because life was more hectic back then with the part-time job and school and my internships, but now that I work full-time, there's a lot less competing for my attention. The planner is in my head now these days, so let's start off with my crazy college schedule. We're gonna go back in time to 2022. Here are some ways to free up some time. 1. Use ratemyprofessor.com. It's a godsend. Don't choose classes that sound fun or interesting. Choose courses that have good professors, because if they're good at teaching, that equals less stress. Less stress equals more time. If a class sounds fun but the professor sucks, then you aren't really learning, are you? Trust me, use Rate My Professor, it works. I've never taken a class with any professor below a 4. The second thing I did was put all my in-person classes together for one day. So yes, I remember one semester where I'd be on campus Tuesdays and Thursdays only from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. with 3 classes that were 3 hours each. I know that sounds so stupid, but in return, I had Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday completely free with 0 obligations. That's time to rest, and rest is essential. Because I'm one of those people who, let's say, okay, I have a class at 5 p.m. I would spend all morning and afternoon thinking and procrastinating that I can't do anything that day because that 5 p.m. class exists. In a way, wasting more time. On top of that, if I had a Monday through Friday chaotic schedule, that also means more time traveling to and from campus if you're a commuter, spending more money buying snacks and transportation, which means I have to work more hours and no days to rest, write, or draw. It's the recipe for burnout. So trying to keep it all in one day or even taking a remote class helps with energy levels, because having one random thing crammed in the middle of your schedule creates procrastination. Now, if you still think that is stupid, that's okay, but don't knock it till you try it. Now that you have all this, it's time for the planner. The good thing about that is that we artists and writers can make our art super pretty with our schedules. I mean, have you guys seen some of the art that comes out of these schedules? If you ever have the time, I implore you to check out all the beautiful creative works of art that many artists do to keep their schedule. Now, I didn't make the prettiest looking planners.
What? It's just an ordinary crabby...
But this thing right here made me happy. I used different colored pens and would doodle all over them. All while doing that, I would have a planner there to help me throughout the week. I would draw little motivational things to help me feel better as well. Having everything laid out in front of you allows you to find ways to add in time to do something fun like writing, drawing, playing video games, sleeping, or whatever you do to relax. Now, my schedule fluctuates throughout the school year in terms of complexity, but knowing where I had free time, it also gave me time to seek internships and work part-time. You get the planner and you take it day by day, knowing exactly what you have to do that day only, and you don't stress yourself out. Take that syllabus and yassify it. It's a big help in college. Okay, so like I said earlier, I graduated. I don't need a schedule anymore these days. The only thing I have to worry about is showing up to my job Monday through Friday and nothing else. I don't need a planner to know that. So with these extra 7 to 9 hours out after work, depending on my energy levels. I'm free to do literally whatever the hell I want. No studying, no reading textbooks, no Quizlet, no discussion replies due at 11:59 p.m. Just pure free time. And with said free time, I work on my book and YouTube channel. Here's how I manage my self-started art projects. So my book and YouTube channel are low stakes compared to college, you know? There's less pressure involved. I could take as long as I want to make a video or write this book because I'm the one who sets the deadlines, not the professor or any external force. And with such a mindset, that can lead to procrastination knowing that you have no pressure. So I gave myself the brain schedule. Tuesdays and Fridays, I work on my book. Some days I can only get a sketch out. Other days I can produce like 4 drawings and an animation, but it's just a little here and there. Think of it like a piggy bank. But for your art, you do a little day by day until it's complete. You do what you can and you don't beat yourself up if you can't. I also work on my YouTube videos on Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays, so I tend to post on one of those days. Let's say I don't finish a video by Monday. I take a break from that and wait until Saturday to work on it again. This alternating schedule keeps everything fresh and fun, giving me different things to work on. Some days I get sick of drawing Gioni and writing my somewhat dramatic book, so it's always fun to alternate and work on a little goofy video with memes and sound effects, and vice versa. Sometimes I get tired of the memes and the sound effects and I want to go back to drawing my book. It's just a fun way to keep everything fresh, so we're not all tunnel vision here. And some days I'm just tired to do any of it, and that's fine. I'll take breaks to do quote-unquote unproductive things like dancing to music, hanging out with my friends, or attending events. I mean, my sister just called me a minute ago to talk about attending a Pierce the Veil concert on Saturday. I've never been to a concert before or listened to their music, and it takes away from my video editing time, but who cares? It just sounds fun. So it's okay to take breaks out of the routine so you could go live life a little. The key though is not letting a slip become a slide. A slip is working on a YouTube video, attending that concert, then working on it tomorrow. That's okay. We all love a good slip. A slide is when you work on a YouTube video, attend the concert, and then you say you'll do it tomorrow. Now it's tomorrow. You say you'll do it next week, then that day comes, and then you say next month comes, and then that becomes never. See where I'm going here? Don't slide, just slip. Sliding is how we get the 1-year whip. Sliding is how we get the thuzz. And sliding is how we get so much unchecked creativity that is never shared because it was never made. And it makes me so sad. I want more art and writing in this world from humans, not AI or bots. So if you have a story in your heart, work on that gradually and have fun while doing it, because that's a big part of time management, just good motivation. At the end of the video, I always say have fun creating today. It's not a suggestion,
It's a threat.
so continue to be motivated because that's a massive part of time management. The following section will help with that motivation. Aw, I think I saw a smile across your weeb face. You have a cute smile. So yes, I know Japan has a toxic work culture. I'm from Los Angeles, so I know all about the hustle grind everyday crap, but I don't think these techniques are toxic. In fact, I find these very healthy for productivity. So what are they? Ikigai, Kaizen, Pomodoro technique, Harahachibu, Shojin, and Wabi-sabi. Ikigai means to find purpose. Ikigai is what helps you wake up every morning to strive to accomplish that one thing. It's passion, it's profession, it's finding out your purpose on this floating rock. Ikigai is complex. I often didn't know what I wanted to be or what to do with my time. I finished high school thinking I wanted to be a storyboard artist and ended up working in animation production. And that's kind of funny to me that my job is centered around time management and planning. I need to restart the game, guys. Why did I put all my points in this one skill? But seriously, it's okay not to know what you want to be right away. Stepping aside from career ikigai, I also have personal ikigai, and it's on my website about page. What's my purpose? I want to inspire you, like how many artists I know inspire me. I'll talk about how much I love the culture around artists and how we share techniques, stories, and ideas in another video, but I just love being a part of that. Whether someone reads my book and gets inspired or watches this video and learns something new, I feel like that's my purpose. As corny as it is, I really like to help people. and I'm just trying to return the favor because I owe the art community for how much it has helped me. I can gush all day about that, but let's get into the next Japanese technique, Kaizen, which is continuous improvement. So instead of trying to do everything at once, you make small progress day by day. All those random things that I listed in the beginning of the video about being able to do all that crap and still have time to write my book, that's because of Kaizen. It took me a whopping 3 months to finish 3 chapters of my book. These days, it takes a week. While in school, it took 3 months. I would work on just a paragraph or 2 here and there until it was complete. The first draft was absolute garbage, but that garbage first draft at least gave me an idea of where I was going. While I was working on visual development, I would break it up into several days. Sketch one day, line art the next time I was free, and then I would move on to the colors. It's funny because I have memories of drawing this during class. This is not the visual development, this is just a random drawing. I was exactly like this girl knitting during the lecture. I've never just cracked out 3 chapters in a day, or one of these fully fledged drawings in a day. Kaizen allowed me to take it slowly and do it a little over time. The Pomodoro technique suggests working for 25 minutes without distractions, taking a break for 5 minutes, and repeating that. I think that's a good start. I do a little more loose version of the Pomodoro technique. I work for a couple of hours, then take like an hour's break to either power nap, eat, stretch, or just do anything. And taking breaks is so important when it comes to time management. If your body says you need a break, please take that break, because when you don't, burnout occurs, procrastination occurs, you're not going to get anything done. And that's definitely not having fun while creating today. We want healthy time management, not grind culture time management. So work, take breaks, and work. Harahachibu means you eat slowly and not stuff yourself. So essentially you eat until you're 80% full. Expanding on that, for sure, make sure that you're eating healthy and exercising. I used to eat family-sized bags of hot Cheetos for breakfast and wondered why I couldn't function in class. I mean, guys, I ate so much hot Cheetos that I ended up in the hospital with inflammation in the stomach lining. Needless to say, going to the hospital is bad time management. That was 3 days I could have spent doing literally anything else. I'm off the hot Cheetos now, and I eat more vegetables and protein. I feel better and energized, so keep that into consideration. Also, I walk a couple times a week. I used to do Ring Fit Adventure, but that takes up so much time. Finding time to do cardio is hard, but it's so worth it if you could squeeze it in. But yeah, after exercising, I feel more energized to get through the day. Shojin, which is having a beginner's mind, that means that you take every task with the same level of curiosity as if you were doing it for the very first time. Whether it's work, relationships, or personal growth, that's always a good mindset to have in general. I never treat my art and writing like I'm some kind of master at it. Whether it's my book or visual novel, I always take a step back and approach it with a level of objectiveness and growth. I always take time out of my day to learn new art techniques or writing techniques, because even though I've been doing it for years, what keeps it entertaining is constantly learning how to do it. Learning should never stop. Last but not least, wabi-sabi. It is the beauty of imperfection. It suggests not stressing over the minor details, but finding the beauty in its simplicity. Taking action is better than waiting for perfection. I love wabi-sabi because it's so real regarding time management. So many artists and writers fear starting because they fear that whatever they make won't be good. And you know what? You're 100% correct. It won't be good. My first draft and couple of sketches were awful, and I knew that, but I kept drawing and kept writing and not letting it get to me how bad it was. Over time, I made significant leaps and improvements. I feel more confident about my art and writing now than I ever did 2 years ago. This chart here is everything you need to know about wabi-sabi. Just allow yourself to be bad, because that's the only way you could create something amazing. Now, those are some Japanese techniques to overcome laziness. If you got to this point of the video and still didn't get anything out of it, maybe this next section could help you. I think it's obvious that I'm neurodivergent, and forgive me if I pronounce neurodivergent wrong, it's just a really hard word to pronounce for some reason. But yeah, this can include autism, ADHD, depression, and anxiety. All of these things significantly affect how well you can manage time. I won't speak for everyone, but I could shed light on my own experiences. Let's play a game? What type of neurodivergent am I? So here's one thing that absolutely screws up with my ability to manage time: my sensitivity to noise. Okay, put your answers in, that's a dead giveaway. But I really hate loud noises and the majority of sounds in general. I have so many things to combat my sensitivity to noise: flare earplugs, regular earplugs, white noise sound machines, many fans for white noise, an air purifier for white noise, and of course, 3M Peltor X4As. I also rely on my earphones to block out sound. This is how much time I spend on YouTube monthly, and this is how much time I spend listening to music. All this so I can function without losing my mind. When I hear a sound I dislike, I get 3 types of reactions. I'm gonna start crying, I get pissed off, or I get really anxious. And before it gets to any of those 3 points, I space out a bit as I try to regulate my emotions. It's hell, and I absolutely hate the 4th of July and New Year's for obvious reasons. I'm ready to bunker down and hibernate for a month. I have no energy to do any tasks during a sound sensitivity episode. I hate footsteps, I hate distant chatter, I hate motorcycles, I hate babies crying, and I especially hate slamming doors and cabinets. And I absolutely hate fireworks. But the world won't really accommodate for me, and I'm fine with that, so I try to understand that and be patient with myself. I find myself working night shifts because it's quieter. I also do everything YouTube related at night because it's also quiet. And also all that random junk in my inventory also helps me get through the day. And with that, it may require rearranging my schedule to accommodate for myself and having the peace of mind that helps me instead of trying to force productivity with the neurotypical folks in the daytime. Okay, so that's me, and that won't work for everyone with sound sensitivity. But I guess the first step is finding out what's preventing you from wanting to manage your time better and finding creative solutions while being patient with yourself. There are so many different types of neurodivergence, but I think the one that has the biggest beef with time management is ADHD. Now, I don't have ADHD, but so many people I'm close to do, and when I try to give my regular time management advice, they want to kill me. And rightfully so. The last time I brought up a schedule to someone with ADHD, they informed me that they can't use that because they can't remember that they created the schedule to begin with. And that's not good. So many beautiful artists out there have ADHD, and so many people in my comment section bring up to me that they have ADHD too. So just for you, I found an academic article called Strategies for Coping with Time-Related and Productivity Challenges of Young People with Learning Disabilities and Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. I'll link that below. Try to say that 5 times as fast. So this study essentially examines 52 college students with learning disabilities or ADHD and how they found ways to overcome obstacles. One exciting thing they said that they did was self-evaluation. And I believe this is a really big step when it comes to anything that you have, whether it's anxiety, depression, autism, ADHD, it's self-evaluation. So what these students did, they evaluated their strengths and weaknesses, and a big part of that was understanding their cognitive styles. Which during class, that was recording lectures so that they can listen to them again if needed, and opting for online classes so that they can listen to the recording multiple times. I personally use an app called Otter.io. No, this is not sponsored. No one's going to sponsor me. But with Otter.io, I'm able to transcribe meetings since I have a processing delay. People say things to me and I can't understand what they're saying until like 30 seconds later. So yeah, I don't have ADHD though, but I thought I'd bring up Otter.io to any neurodivergent person who has a processing delay or needs it, you know. Some other things that they said that they did in the study was planning activity breaks, trying activity switching, and using environmental cues to help them remember things. I do that environmental cue thing. I used to draw a star or a heart on my hand to remember things. So when I see that heart, I remember to do that random homework assignment. Okay. Lastly, they procrastinated, and that helped them lower stress. I was actually not expecting that, but that makes sense. They say since that they procrastinate to the point that there's an hour left until the due date, they finish their assignment assignments. Interesting, really. So basically, it's the opposite of my advice earlier about the start now approach. That shows that a big part of time management at the end of the day is just finding out what works for you. Not every method will work for everyone, but if you can find one that works for you, you can go a long way. This video is incredibly long with plenty of information regarding time management to help you throughout the day as an artist. So best of luck to you. Okay, that's it. That's the video. I have a book that is both illustrated and animated, sci-fi and adventure. Chapter 9 has just released, and by far, this is my favorite chapter. Fun fact, I actually had to rewrite this one. The story progression in 2023 was good, but it needed better prose. I wanted the words to flow a little bit better, so I revised it, but I have to give the credit to my college-age self for doing all the heavy lifting, and I'm happy that I started the book then and not now. Anyways, that's linked below. My newsletter for this book will also be linked below. I have a Discord for artists and writers. That too will be linked below. Have fun while creating today, and I'll see you guys later!